Donald Trump is attempting to ignore a court order about food stamps. Does he really think that this is going to work? I mean, this is crushing a bunch of his own supporters as much as it's crushing the country at large. And by the way, it's terrible for businesses, food stamps being one of the most economically stimulative forms of government spending. Here's what's going on. A court has said you've got to spend the $6 billion you have in reserve to give people food stamp benefits. And the Trump administration doesn't want to do it. As we're going to air right now, as I'm recording this, there is the claim that half of benefits are going to go out eventually, I guess. But in the midst of this, Donald Trump posts to Truth Social, quote, SNAP benefits, which increased by billions and billions of dollars many-fold during crooked Joe Biden's disastrous term in office, due to the fact that they were haphazardly handed to anyone for the asking, as opposed to just those in need, which is the purpose of SNAP, will be given only when the radical left Democrats open up government, which they can easily do, and not before. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. One of the greatest inaccuracies about food stamps is that there are people hanging out, living large on food stamp benefits who don't really deserve them. And the truth is we're talking about a couple $100 a month. Now, a couple $100 a month is not going to make an already wealthy person wealthier. And so the idea that people who don't really need the food stamps at all are just collecting the money and getting rich, that's not going to happen. But for people who do need food stamps, that $200 actually is the difference between I can eat or I can't. It's the difference between I have to go into debt to afford my groceries by putting them on a credit card and paying interest next month and more interest the following month and on and on. Or I can go and get my groceries and use food stamps to pay for them. And the idea that there are just that there is largesse because of people who don't deserve or really need the food stamps getting them, it is an absolutely pathetic and ridiculous idea. Politically, this does seem quite risky because there's a lot of Republicans who depend on food stamps as well. Now, Trump is trying to sort of say, yes, you're not going to have the food stamps, but it's because of Democrats that you're not going to have the food stamps. I don't think people are falling for it. The polling certainly doesn't show that with regard to who's responsible for the government shutdown. And this seems like another one of these extraordinarily short-sighted measures. Now, I would expect, because Trump loves to try to take credit for partially solving problems he created, my guess is that at some point, some food stamp benefits will go out and Trump will take credit. And it will be something like, despite the evil Democrats who want everybody to starve, including my own followers, I have been able to and decided with the great strength of my orange face to release some money. I'm expecting something like that. And of course, we have to remember this is a problem he created. And by the way, even with the government shut down, there's no reason the $6 billion can't be used. Trump goes, oh, well, once the government is open, the government being closed is your fault. But even with it being closed, you've got $6 billion for food stamps for exactly these sorts of situations. Now, again, I want to mention, many of you are still writing in, David, I want to help on this food issue. The audience is the most powerful part of the show. And what we are doing for all of November, and I'm going to have an update for you on the success, for every new website membership and new paid Substack subscription this month, we are donating the entire first payment to Feeding America. I have an update. We now have, it's November 5th. We started this on November 3rd. We have 172 new memberships. $6,792 will now be donated to Feeding America. Feeding America funds 10 meals with every dollar. The way they do this is by making deals with grocery stores and others with food that is normally gotten rid of, and then also buying food in bulk. They can support 10 meals with every dollar. The $6,700 that you all have raised, which we will be donating, funds 67,000 meals. We're only on day 3 of this thing. So I hope that you will join. We've chosen Feeding America because 98% of donations go directly to feeding people. The overhead at the organization is really small. So if you get a monthly membership on my website, you're funding 60 meals. If you get a yearly membership on my website, you're funding 600 meals. And meanwhile, Trump's got $6 billion. He could use it to feed the 42 million Americans on food stamps. He doesn't want to do it. Courts are saying he has to. Families are scared. While we are fighting all of that, people need to eat. So we're trying to help them. And I will update you tomorrow as to where we are. $6,700, 67,000 meals as of this moment. Links are in the description.